Liberty Travel, in association with Donegal TV, are giving away one lucky viewer the chance to win a mystery European city break for 2 adults. To be in with a chance to win, simply like and share Donegal TV's Facebook page. Draw will take place January 2014 on Facebook. Winner must be available to arrange the short break with Liberty Travel.
Hello, I'm Andrea Gilligan and welcome to this week's programme, which is a special 1 hour long edition. Coming up in the second half of the show, we'll have a feature with Charlie Collins on the work of the Relay for Life Donegal team. But before that, we'll be looking back at the year of the gathering, and we'll have interviews with well-known international stars Derek Ryan, Lisa McHugh and John Sheahan of world-renowned Dubliners fame. But first, on this evening's programme, Martina Bromley from Fáilte, Ireland, reflects on the year of the gathering.
Well, absolutely, 2013 is going to be associated with the year of the gathering, not only right across the country, but most definitely within the county of Donegal, where there has been great success, great engagement, and the local towns and communities have really stood behind this idea and concept and have truly added to the success of this overall event. From walking, culture, music, great festivals, and we saw some of the very big festivals taking on board the actual element of the gathering. So Sea Sessions in Bundoran, Rory Gallagher Festival, the Donegal Rally. So what they did was they added the gathering idea of reaching out to the diaspora all over the world and inviting them back into the county for the year of the gathering. Well, we've seen some wonderful events that have happened for the very, very first time. When you look at the homecoming for all the clergy that came back from over 5 continents, they're already talking about another event in 2014. The partnerships were hugely important, and you look at it from private and public working together, Fáilte Ireland leading out, but the local authority here in Donegal has always had a fantastic interest in the diaspora. Michael Heaney and his division under Community and Enterprise has reached out in terms of the Donegal diaspora all over the world, and that will continue. So that legacy area of being able to continue on, being able to invite our Irish people home to enjoy the county, to enjoy what is on offer here, and to reach out and maybe get the diaspora, where, you know, we look at there's over 44 million right across the world who really have that interest and that homecoming and that call to come back to Donegal.
Well, the diaspora, the Donegal diaspora, has been recognised as a very important and valuable resource for County Donegal, and it's also recognised that County Donegal is a very important resource for our broad diaspora that's out there. Donegal County Council and Donegal County Development Board have been working closely with various networks overseas in the United States, the UK, Canada, Europe, to actually develop this broad Donegal diaspora, to make the connection, to ensure that people know what's on offer here in Donegal, in terms of Donegal being their spiritual home, so to speak, for people whose ancestors might have left 100 years ago more. Our more recent departures from this county, the people that have emigrated in more recent years, to keep up the connection with them. And the Donegal Diaspora Project has been very successful in doing that over the past number of years, using new technologies. We have the Donegal Diaspora website, which reaches out. We have the Donegal Community in Touch e-sign, which goes out to some 30,000 people 6 times a year. We have the Gathering website, the Donegal Gathering website. We have the Tip O'Neill Irish Diaspora Award website. So these are all ways that we're reaching out and connecting with people and keeping the contact. And I have to say that the interest that's out there is very substantial. People are very interested in connecting or reconnecting back to the county and then working with us. And that's the type of work that we're carrying out and that we fully intend. In terms of the tourism season that we've just had in Donegal, the feedback has been very good in terms of businesses in this county. So I think that with the gathering, it's been a very good year. But I have to say that the gathering has been a very positive experience. Donegal has its own gathering brand now, which we've developed under the auspices of the national brand. And the Donegal Gathering brand will not be disappearing. It's something that will be continued to be used over the coming years.
One of the most successful events held in County Donegal this year was the Taste of Donegal Food Festival held in Donegal town. Noel Cunningham went along for Donegal TV.
Welcome to the Northwest, welcome to Donegal town, and this is their annual food festival. And may I ask what your role is here today on this auspicious occasion?
Well, we are from the town and we just thought we'd come down, dress up and promote the town.
And a very good job you are doing. How important is a festival like this to the town, Paul?
Absolutely vital to Donegal town. Donegal town is a mecca for food. You have your Kinsales, you have all your other places, and Donegal town is now up there with the best of them.
Innovation at its best, that's Harvey's point, like the many hotels here at the show, putting up stands, telling people about what they do, how they do it at its best. So well done, Gino and Paul, thank you very much indeed. It certainly is all happening here in the Northwest and in Donegal. And who would have thought, when you think about places like Guinness, that we'd be actually brewing our own beer? Tell me a little bit about Donegal Brewing Company.
Well, Noel, we set up in 2011. We had our first product out, which is Donegal Blonde, last January. We're brewing in Dicey Riley's in Ballyshannon, and we've the product out now since January, and it's been received very well nationwide. It's available in over 200 outlets at the minute, and it's been going down very well here at the Taste of Donegal.
Claire, tell me about your bakery.
My bakery, I started a bakery 3 years ago in Carndonna. It's at the entrance of the Super Valley supermarket. Business has been good. I did training in Culley College, so it kind of started from there. And we have a coffee shop. You can come in and have your lunch in my coffee shop. We do all our cakes, everything you see here, we do in our coffee shop. We do our wedding cakes as well, birthday cakes, christening cakes, every kind of cake that you can think of, we do.
I'm here with the fantastic Anthony Malloy. He's dragged me down here to have a chat with another legend, Mr. Doherty from Inishowen Country Kitchen. So tell us a little bit about your product.
Our product, Inishowen Country Kitchen is a salad manufacturer in Malin, County Donegal, and in 2014 will be 25 years producing food in Donegal. We're just at the show today launching our Canadian coleslaw, which is a new coleslaw with a sweet vinaigrette dressing, no mayonnaise, which is a completely different product to anything you can get on the market. So we're always trying to do something different.
And tell me, where do I find your product? If I'm driving around Donegal or the Northwest, where do you stock?
Our products will be sold in Super Values, in Tesco, Letterkenny, and all Eurospars, Galas, all the stores around the complete county. And we also produce stuff for the hotel trade as well, stuffings and breadcrumbs, coleslaw, etc. You know.
And we're based here in Donegal, and we're just launching this weekend at the show here, and it's been a great start and great buzz around the place as well, and plenty of people coming up and tasting our honey and getting local, healthy Irish honey, and with activity levels of 10 and higher, which is similar to the Manuka 10 that you'd be buying in the shop, but it's all local, Sligo and Donegal honey. Well,
it's fascinating for us to be here for such a marvellous launch, a Donegal product, and a product that matches some of the best on the shelves. Michael, what is your thoughts on the festival this year? You're a great supporter, your enterprise board very much a part of it.
Well, from last night was extremely busy for Friday evening, again today. I mean, the numbers are very, very good. Talking to some of the exhibitors as well, very, very positive feedback. So, I mean, and again, I know from the organisation they've changed some of the exhibitors. There's a different mix rather than having the same every year. So, I think they'll probably exceed the number they got last year and probably hit about 25,000 people this year. So, I think from the point of view of getting numbers, but also the awareness creation, just among people locally and within the Northwest of what we have both in the county, in the Northwest and on the island. I think it's a tremendous event.
It's just the crowd, I think, and everybody's so friendly, and of course all the samples, which is very good.
I
think it's absolutely fabulous, and I think there's a lot more room this year, and it's not as, you know, there's plenty of people but a lot more room to move about, and everybody's very friendly.
I think it's fabulous. You'd have to be hungry to come here though, because you keep firing food at you wherever you go. It's brilliant.
My name is Jeffrey O'Donnell from Donegal Whole Foods, Tropical Foods. Started in business about 20 years ago, and it's a family-run business, and we still keep the family involved, young children as well. We sell a range of pre-packed nuts and cereals, and then we've seen the need in the downturn to take in different products, different lines, such as American Snyder's, new flavoured raisins for the children going back to school, and we do some local seaweed in that. And we're out on the road, we deliver to the supermarkets nationwide.
The show's been fabulous. I mean, when we started yesterday afternoon right through up till now, it's just been very busy. As you can see, there's a great amount of people about, and they're very interested to try our wares, which is fabulous. I think as much to advertise our Smugglers Creek, it's to be a part of the community, because if we didn't come and they didn't come, then it wouldn't happen. You know, and I think when somebody goes to the effort to actually do something, you know, as tremendous as this, then everybody should be behind them.
Can't just stop nowadays when the recession hits. You have to evolve your business and move with the times. And we saw that people had a little bit of money to spend and they wanted something nice and sweet, so we sell a lot of sweets. And this year we brought in gourmet jelly beans to Donegal Town, and we literally just got the machine straight here to the tent on Thursday evening, and it's been a fantastic success so far. You select your tube, you insert it into the dispenser, and you milk like a cow and you can select your own jelly beans.
It's not every day that as you're strolling along you meet a man in a white jacket who is literally a legend in his very young lifetime. We are delighted once again to welcome Nevin Maguire, who needs no introduction to the hills of Donegal and the food festival. Nevin, welcome back.
Wow, I'm so happy to be here. I mean, this is my third year being here, and it just gets bigger and better. I mean, the people of Donegal, first of all, they're so supportive to me, but I love this county. I often come up here on my days off with a melda, go out to the beaches. You're just such a beautiful county, you know, and the people make it, of course.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people say that, but the reality is you don't have to be here because you're a very busy man, and it's really lovely to hear you say and mean it that you want to be part of this.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is for me one of the best food shows in the country, and it was one of the original ones. When you think of how now it's growing, all the different Taste of Cavan and Taste of Ever, which are great, but this is absolutely wonderful. I've seen it getting bigger and better. What I love about this show, it's great value for families. You know, they're not overcharging people, and then they'll go in and they'll taste food and they'll buy it, so everyone wins. And I think that's the whole idea about this show. We have great fun. I'm looking forward to doing my demonstration with Brian, good friend of mine, Brian McDermott. And I mean, the people have just an empathy, and they love food and they love cooking, and you have great produce in this county.
Give us an overview of your impressions of Donegal and the Northwest.
Well, obviously it's a fantastic part of the world, the west coast of Ireland. I mean, I've been to Bundoran surfing a few times before, but to be honest, I'm blown away by the scale of it. I mean, we have a food festival in Cornwall in Padstow at Christmas, and I thought that was big. The producers market is about a quarter of the size of this one. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I've literally had to pull myself away from every single stand as we walk down to taste these fantastic sausages with something. There we go, a little bit of a plug. But it's amazing, like I say, and some of the chefs have been great. Obviously, Gary Sheahan, a very good friend of mine, and Carl's here, and the produce. The West Coast is great. Cork, I've been to before, and have really enjoyed some of the seaweeds as well. Seaweeds are a big thing for Ireland. I mean, some of the Irish seaweeds. I learned so much from a producer in Cork about the different types of seaweeds that they grow, and not they grow, that they forage. And there's, like I say, there's constant learning. I'm constantly learning, and it's great to be here. And obviously, I have a family connection to the island on my mother's side, so. As you can probably tell by my coloration, there's a bit of the Celt in me.
Ernan, the final word to you. You are the chairperson of the organising committee, a very hard-working committee. Tell us how much involvement there is in getting something like this up and running. You have people exhibiting from all over the country.
We have over 107 exhibitor stands, probably taking in around 100 companies from all over the island of Ireland. And I suppose, Noel, the main ethos, as Jack has already said, what we try to do here is we try to start start-up artisan food production in this area. And I think if that is a success, it's coming from this event. It's given them a neutral venue. It's given them ideas from other entrepreneurs, other artisan food producers who are trying it in other parts of Ireland, and to say that we can do it in Donegal and we can do it better. And I firmly believe that we can do it better.
Where else, just a few hours away, would you find discoverireland.ie/Donegal, right here, right now.
Have you experienced Letterkenny recently? The shopping centre of Donegal. A huge choice of stores, great value, convenient parking with friendly Donegal service. To see more, visit shoplk.ie and follow us on Facebook for all the latest news. ShopLK, love shopping, love Letterkenny.
Kelly's Toyota Letterkenny and Mount Charles, the newest, the widest range of vehicles for sale in Ireland. Visit www.kellystoyota.com or follow us on Facebook.
Evolve Menswear in Letterkenny Retail Park are dedicated to providing top quality fashion to men of all ages. From young casual to the mature man, formal wear to footwear. They are also the premier wedding hire specialists in the Northwest. Spoil yourself or the man in your life this Christmas at Evolve Menswear Letterkenny, Donegal's largest menswear store.
The Clanry Hotel, the ideal place to relax and revive, perfectly located for exploring beautiful Donegal and the Northwest, with 120 ensuite rooms, health and fitness centre, award-winning restaurant, and McGettigan's Irish traditional bar. Short breaks from only €89 per person sharing. Visit www.clanryhotel.com or follow us on Facebook.
Liberty Travel Letterkenny, your local travel expert, the leading independent travel agency in Donegal, fully licensed and bonded for your protection, and members of Travel Centres Ireland. Our team have vast experience and look forward to booking your next holiday. For special deals, visit libertytravel.ie.
All of the showbiz world have one thing in common. They love it here in Donegal. Valinatina Culley Foster recently published a photographic book of images of Donegal and Derry, and she's been speaking to Donegal TV about her impressions of the county.
A fascinating photography exhibition featuring Donegal and Derry has been getting considerable exposure in Ireland, Britain and also in Germany. Irish-American photographer Valinatina Culley Foster's coffee table book From the North to the Republic has some 80 stills, which were captured on both sides of the border. Valinatina, who was born in Virginia, has strong family links with the Northwest.
There's a long family history to Fawn, and my father is originally from here as well as Derry, and I was originally born in Virginia, then ended up coming over here every summer to spend time with my family.
She has developed a real interest in documentary photography, with the basis of much of it on boundaries and borders, on cultural divisions and how people are divided. She feels that her photos take viewers across borders and shows how places can change, even in a short period of time. One of her favourite images is of Borderland in Muff, a premises with many a story to tell.
That was one of my favourite images in the entire book. It also was shown at my graduate show in London. That specific location, I liked collecting all the stories and listening to what people had to say about the historic background and how they met their wives potentially down there, or used to go down there every weekend because life was freer, someone said to me, across the border. So when it used to be a dance hall, things have changed now. Today it's a discount clothing store. Things change, times change, people change, but the memories last.
It took her 7 months to get all the images, and she used a mixture of modern and traditional techniques in her photography. While she was working on the book, she often went out on walks in the border area and discovered that you could be crossing it without even realising it.
When I first moved over, I was living just in between Derry and Donegal, essentially just about on the Cosh-Quinn borderline. So I ended up going on daily walks with my auntie and taking my camera and going out by myself as well, and realising through my iPhone and Google Maps, modern technology, that I was actually crossing the border without even knowing it, and that there's no physical trace of a border anymore. It's just a geographical border where those back roads used to be barricaded. I realised today you can just walk freely across them and how it's a much different experience. And then I made that the main backbone of my book.
A student at the University of Westminster in London, she was one of 9 exhibitors whose work was displayed at the Picture Berlin exhibition. It was a great honour for her, as she was the only Irish or UK-based photographer out of over 500 applicants to have her work included.
I'd like to see my book getting published. I'd like to do my master's in photography to hopefully teach at university level, potentially in the States. And as much as I've loved retracing my roots, it might be time to go back as well. Not forever, but definitely come back here and visit like I used to. And I'd like to make a career out of it.
Chris Ashmore, Donegal TV, Fawn.
Many stars from the entertainment world were in Donegal this year, and our reporters were out and about to meet up with some of them.
Alright, Donegal, tell me, are we all in singing form tonight? Oh, it's a heartache, nothing but heartache. Hits you when it's too late, hits you when you're down. It's a fool's game, nothing but a fool's game. Standing in the cold. I started gigging actually when I was pretty young. You know, we were 12, 13 at home with my brother, and we did like local parties and social dancing scene and stuff like that. But then when I was 17, I got signed to Warner Music in London. I was in a part of a boy band, you know, an Irish boy band. But we were lucky to get a major deal in the UK, which was a big deal at the time, you know. And that was an amazing experience. We toured all over the UK and Japan, Germany. We had 3 top 10s in the UK, performed on Top of the Pops, all the big TV shows. It was absolutely, you know, a wonderful experience and a great base then to come back. It was always the plan to do my own album of my own songs, whether it be, you know, obviously going to be in the country genre, but whether it be in the UK or here or wherever, you know. Nothing but hits you when it's too late, hits you when you're down. It's a fool's game. Where I come from, you know, County Carlow, it wouldn't be a stronghold in country music, you know. So I sent off, I remember my debut single, God's Plan, I sent off to all the DJs, and funnily enough, Highland were the first radio station to get back to me, you know. I know Ocean FM is here as well, and different stations, but a Donegal station was, and God's Plan kind of was born really in Donegal. They were the first to play it, you know. And from then on, I did a show in Letterkenny, and you know, things just started rolling. But Donegal is probably one of my strongest counties, you know, as regards coming to do gigs, and it's great to have seen it grown over the years. You know, I'm 2.5, nearly 3 years on the road now, and just, you know, to go from, I suppose, playing the smaller venues to coming to a place like the Abbey Hotel and having full houses on a Sunday afternoon, you know, at dances. It's just, it's mayhem. It's crazy. The morning light took me by surprise, but I've got an alibi. You can knock my pay for being late, but you won't give me.
This is what it's all about at the moment, country soul. You've put pen to paper on some of these. Is it 6 or 7 you've wrote yourself on?
Yeah, 6. Yeah. You know, I like to have a balance on every album. You know, and you know, songs that people would know. We had the big Avicii hit, you know, Wake Me Up, country style, and I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Aerosmith's. So there's a few, and then there's Don Williams' song on there as well. So there's a bit of everything. But the originals are the most important for me, really. You know.
I tried carrying the weight of the wind, but I only have 2 hands. I hope I
want to thank yourself personally for coming on Donegal TV this evening, because I know you're extremely busy. So, folks, you've just heard it from the man himself, Derek Ryan.
I wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game made for it.
Well, My parents are both Irish. My mum was born in Fáilte in Donegal, and my dad was born in Castlederg in Tyrone. And I do have a lot of family over here, so when I decided to move over in 2009, it was no real strange, environment for me, because I had been so used to it growing up. And people were so welcoming, so warm and friendly when I did come over, and I've loved every single minute of it. I definitely do think that I come alive when I'm on stage. I think it's kind of like a switch that I flick within myself, and just think, you go on and you have to put on a performance, and people are paying their hard-earned money to come and see you, and I just love to put 120% into every performance and put on a show as much as I physically can. And I just love it when you see people on the floor and they're singing along to your songs, and they're dancing and clapping and wanting more, and it's an overwhelming feeling, and I just love being on stage. I would go to, my mum and dad, they have a holiday home down in Fáilte where my mum was originally born, and that's great. It's down right by the water, and the beach is there, and it's great to just go down and just have just silence, and just go and chill out. But as well as that, I do, as often as I can, I would take the chance to go home to Glasgow to see family, because I don't see them that often, so I would grab it with both arms.
There's silver threads now going through the gold.
Philomena, the country music scene down through the years has really taken a leap here in Donegal.
Oh, sure, it's unbelievable, but it was always really good anyway, up around Donegal town here and Bundoran and places like that. There was always big for country music. It never really wavered that much, down through the years, of course, it did take a bit of a dip, but then this, as I say, this new generation has come up now, and they're doing, they're coming leaps and bounds. It's just like as if it's just starting all over again. It's the same thing, really.
Yeah.
I have a new album out at the minute. How I Love Them Old Songs is the name of it, and it's doing very well at the moment. I have a couple of singles off it there. I took I Ain't Over the Hill, and I have a new single out off it at the minute called Sorry.
Can you remember your first album, what it was called?
It's Truck Driving Woman.
I'm a truck driving woman.
Hello, my name is John Sheahan. I'm a fiddle player, and you're watching Donegal TV.
Since 1964, the Dubliners, and you must have been a frequent visitor to Donegal over the years.
Oh, indeed, we made several visits up here, Paul, over the years. Bundoran, Donegal Town, Ballybuffet, Ardara, the Glanties, you name it, we were there.
And you've made many friends in Donegal, I believe.
Have indeed, yeah, particularly a man that comes from this area, Rory Gallagher. Fantastic. And we had the honour of making a record with Rory just about a year before he died, actually. I wrote this tune, The Marina Waltz, there 30 years ago actually this year, believe it or not. Well, it's a real honour for me to be invited to read poetry and play music here at the Ellingham Arts Festival. I was kind of amused a little bit when Marie phoned me and asked me would I come up and read some poetry. That was the first part of the invitation. I said, God, I'd be honoured to read poetry at the festival. And so we discussed the date and the details, and then almost as an afterthought she said, sure, maybe you'd bring the fiddle as well and play us a tune.
Coming up in part 3 of the show, Charlie Collins will be bringing you a special feature on the Relay for Life team in Donegal.
Evolve Menswear in Letterkenny Retail Park are dedicated to providing top quality fashion to men of all ages. From young casual to the mature man, formal wear to footwear. They are also the premier wedding hire specialists in the Northwest. Spoil yourself or the man in your life this Christmas at Evolve Menswear Letterkenny, Donegal's largest menswear store.
The Clanry Hotel, the ideal place to relax and revive, perfectly located for exploring beautiful Donegal and the northwest, with 120 ensuite rooms, health and fitness centre, award-winning restaurant, and McHugh's Irish traditional bar. Short breaks from only €89 per person sharing. Visit www.clanryhotel.com or follow us on Facebook.
Liberty Travel Letterkenny, your local travel expert, the leading independent travel agency in Donegal, fully licensed and bonded for your protection, and members of Travel Centres Ireland. Our team have vast experience and look forward to booking your next holiday. For special deals, visit libertytravel.ie.
Kelly's Toyota, Letterkenny and Mount Charles, the newest, the widest range of vehicles for sale in Ireland. Visit www.kellystoyota.com or follow us on Facebook. The Silver Tassie 4-star Hotel and Spa, award-winning Irish cuisine, spa packages and organic seaweed baths, open all year round. Also wedding venue of the year, 5 minutes from Letterkenny.
She's Lottie, she's super cute, she's Lottie, she's just like you, dress her up for a ball or a pony flag race, a festival or ballet, you can take her any place, with her pets, pretty clothes and her beautiful hair. She's Lottie, people will be brave for you.
Lottie, a doll just like you. To find your nearest stockist, go to lottie.com or buy on Amazon.
Flights twice daily from Donegal to Dublin with Flybe and Donegal to Glasgow 4 days per week. Donegal Airport, serving the county. Visit donegalairport.ie.
Ground Zero 360, keeping the memory alive. Visit our website at ground0360.org and follow us on Facebook.
We're here at the Letterkenny Institute of Technology in Letterkenny, the venue for Relay for Life Donegal for the last 2 years. What is Relay for Life? Relay for Life brings people and communities together in the fight against cancer. Relay for Life is a time to celebrate the lives of those who have had to battle cancer, remembered loved ones lost, and commit to fighting back against the disease. Relay for Life raises money to support the Irish Cancer Society.
I got involved in Relay following my own cancer diagnosis back about 6 years ago, and I wanted to do something, give something back. So when I heard about the whole concept of Relay, I did a little bit of research on it, and I thought this would be a nice event to bring to Donegal, and I wanted to bring it to all of Donegal because I felt that it would be, that everybody would benefit from it. And Donegal is so badly hit with cancer. I thought that if we could hold an event that would open its arms to everybody, it would be great.
The more you hear people talk about Relay, the more you realise, especially at parish level, the number of families affected by cancer, and you feel an obligation to them to actually do something and just show them some sort of empathy in what they've been through. And of course, having lost a son from cancer myself at 18 years of age, that was a very dramatic impact on my life, and was the reason why the other chaplains in Letterkenny Hospital suggested that I should be the chaplain to the oncology ward in Letterkenny Hospital. And I daily, on a daily basis, come across people who are going through cancer treatment, and the courage and the example and the attitude and the fight in those people just make it essential to be part of what Relay is all about.
Well, I had a very good friend who was diagnosed with cancer, Trina Friel, and thankfully survived it, and then became friendly with Ina. So when Ina was involved with Relay, I decided that that's one of the charities I would like to get involved with and help to raise money for the research.
My father passed away with cancer in the mid-1980s, and I'd always said I'm going to do something to mark his memory, and I would do something that would prevent or help reduce the incidence of cancer in the future. When I saw this in Ballinasloe, I said, yeah, that's something that makes sense, and that's something, yeah, I would get involved with.
Every Relay for Life has teams who come together to raise money and take turns walking around the track for 24 hours as a symbol of their resolve to fight cancer.
I lost my brother through this disease last year, and a friend the year before that.
but here more for the survivors. We have a lot of survivors in our area as well, so just the overall for those who are bereaved, the survivors and the carers and everything about Relay for Life. It's a fantastic day. And it's a fantastic occasion as well.
My wife was diagnosed with cancer 4 months to the day before our wedding, and it just, for me, it felt like an opportunity to give back to the Irish Cancer Society. I suppose I understood what it was like to hear the news from an almost, you know, not being, I suppose, the person who the news gets delivered to, and to be the support for that person. And I found that the support services the Irish Cancer Society offered were fantastic, when at times I felt like I didn't know where to turn to.
No way did we imagine that Relay for Life in 2013 would be anything like 2012. But the depths of those pockets, doesn't matter how shallow they are, a penny's a penny. My granny used to say, a penny makes a pound and a pound makes a millionaire. And as far as Relay for Life in Donegal is concerned, from Mallinhead right down to the south of the county, to the west of the county, out through Carrick and over Glanties, there wasn't an area that we managed to cover. And unfortunately, from year to year, people who walked as helpers this year may possibly wear the purple t-shirts next year, and people who were here this year, we may be celebrating in their memory next year. But celebrating, fighting back and just having fun in life when you get the chance, it's so important.
Everyone comes to Relay to make the difference in the battle against cancer. Relay reminds us of what we can achieve as individuals, together and as a community.
Hi, we're a Team United Health Group from Letterkenny, and we're here to celebrate, to remember and to look forward. And this is Anne-Marie, Laura and Marie, and I'm Veronica. We were here last year. This is our second year to come over, and we had such a good time last year. We thought we'd come this year, and we're doing the birthday theme.
I am relaying for all those fantastic people I've met recently who have been diagnosed with cancer, those who are fighting the battle, and I am relaying in memory of family members that I have lost.
My mum is a cancer survivor, and it was her that just decided she always wanted to do something to give something back to those that helped her, so we decided that we'd enter Relay for Life this year. It was a great experience, and just everybody came together and everybody was willing to do so much to help out. It was definitely a great journey from start to end.
Each relay begins with the powerful Survivors Lap, honouring cancer survivors. Survivors include people who may have just been diagnosed or those who have battled cancer for many years. At Relay, they all walk together to kickstart the celebration.
It's important that money is collected for cancer, because without research, and I was delighted this year when all the money was going to research, because without research we're going nowhere. I've seen, even now, I'm 5-6 years since I had cancer, and in those 6 years what has happened, the improvement in conditions and what's happening around the country is fantastic, and that's due to people putting their hand in their pocket and supporting the likes of Relay, because without research we'll never get anywhere. So this year is great to see all the money going to research.
I'm here because I've had the experience of being told in the cancer care unit at Letterkenny General Hospital after 5 years that they don't need to see me anymore. I want to make sure that many more people get that same message.
Some people said that hell wasn't warm enough for me, and some people said I was too good to go to heaven, so I don't know. Somewhere in between lies the truth.
So tell us what you did.
I sung for the choir, and I sung with Trevor Loughery live stage, and I walked around the circle a couple of times.
Good stuff. You sang with Trevor Loughery?
Yeah.
And what song did you sing with him?
Folsom Prison Blues.
Oh, because you're a big Johnny Cash fan, I hear, are you?
Yeah.
Johnny Cash, a young man like you likes country music. Does your friends like country music?
I'm not really sure.
For us, I think for me anyway, because I wasn't there last year at the beginning, we weren't involved last year, was seeing the survivors at the start of the survivors lap, and the carers, and that was very overwhelming to see a lot of young people, and people you didn't even realise So for me that was the highlight, and the end of it was excellent as well.
Here today to first of all congratulate my mother who had breast cancer 21 years ago when she was pregnant with my younger sister. So we're here celebrating that my sisters turned 21 and both of them are still alive and well and here fighting with each other. And another reason I'm here is because my father is still fighting cancer at the moment and couldn't be with us today, so we're just here celebrating that.
Relay for Life first took place in 1985 when an American doctor walked around a track for 24 hours to raise funds for the American Cancer Society. Relay for Life is now a truly international event that takes place in over 20 countries worldwide, raising money for policy change, cancer research and cancer services.
You know, it's the most incredible story. One man, 1985, a colorectal surgeon from Tacoma, Washington, worked with cancer patients on a daily basis, and he was in awe of their courage. He also happened to support the American Cancer Society and was a marathon runner. So he thought he would run for 24 hours. He raised $27,000, and as he was running around the track in the wee hours of the morning, he thought to himself, I'll never be doing this again. How could I do this and get more people involved so it wouldn't just be me running around the track? And out of that, in 1985, is what we have today, a global movement. It's almost unfathomable to explain. So now it's teams of people that take turns walking around a track. And the symbolism is that a 24 hours out of your life is reminiscent of the journey of a cancer patient. The darkest hours are at night time when you're alone and you are awake, wondering if you're going to make it, or lying beside your spouse and wondering if they are going to make it. And then the morning comes, a time when a cancer patient most looks forward to because it means they've made it another day. And that's why we take one day out of our life to relay.
As darkness falls, every relay pauses to hold a very special remembrance. Candles are lit and a few quiet moments are taken to remember those who we have lost to cancer and to support those who are still fighting against the disease.
My highlight, I have to say, like last year, was the luminaria. Just the quieting down and the candles and the effect of the candles, the people's names, having been involved earlier in selling the candles, and just the whole way that people were so emotional and were getting a lot from it in the rain.
People that have been through it will know how emotional it is and it can be, and the silence that the whole pitch when that's gone is amazing. But, you know, it's amazing that there's so many people there and yet it's so quiet for that while that's on.
Each Relay for Life is organised by a committee of hard-working volunteers with the support of the Irish Cancer Society. Relay for Life is one day, one night, one community and one fight.
One of the things that we did this year was at Relay we had what we called a fight back corner and a fight back tree. And that was a tree where people could come and pledge one thing that they were going to do themselves to fight back against cancer. So that would be the one lifestyle change they were going to make themselves. And at the end of Relay for Life we had a tree that was absolutely covered in all sorts of colourful and very powerful intentions that the people of Donegal made.
We're here at Relay to celebrate our daughter Emer, who's 5. She was diagnosed with stage 4 neuroblastoma when she was 9 months old, and thankfully she's in remission and doing very well. We're also here to remember our little friends who didn't make the same journey as Emer, and we remember them today.
There's nothing like Relay. Celebrate, remember, fight back. It's a powerful, powerful way, the most powerful way I think I've ever seen of having a community come together around cancer and generate hope, fun, funds, obviously, remember those who have passed, and really, really, you know, create a future and have people know that it is possible to have a future without cancer.
A little community in the northwest of Ireland to raise over €700,000 in 2 years. The only way that that can be described is when a community comes together and decides that they're going to do something about this disease. A group of volunteers worked tirelessly for 9 months to put this together, and the entire global relay family was watching and cheering them on. I am incredibly proud of the job that the community of Donegal did to support their Irish Cancer Society in this fight against cancer.
Where else, just a few hours away, would you find discoverireland.ie/Donegal, right here, right now.
Have you experienced Letterkenny recently? The shopping centre of Donegal. A huge choice of stores, great value, convenient parking with friendly Donegal service. To see more, visit shoplk.ie and follow us on Facebook for all the latest news. Shop LK, love shopping, love Letterkenny.
Kelly's Toyota Letterkenny in Mount Charles, the newest, the widest range of vehicles for sale in Ireland. Visit www.kellystoyota.com or follow us on Facebook.
Evolve Menswear in Letterkenny Retail Park are dedicated to providing top quality fashion to men of all ages. From young casual to the mature man, formal wear to footwear. They are also the premier wedding hire specialists in the Northwest. Spoil yourself or the man in your life this Christmas at Evolve Menswear Letterkenny, Donegal's largest menswear store.
The Clanry Hotel, the ideal place to relax and revive, perfectly located for exploring beautiful Donegal and the Northwest, with 120 ensuite rooms, health and fitness centre, award-winning restaurant, and McGettigan's Irish traditional bar. Short breaks from only €89 per person sharing. Visit www.clanryhotel.com or follow us on Facebook.
Liberty Travel Letterkenny, your local travel expert, the leading independent travel agency in Donegal, fully licensed and bonded for your protection, and members of Travel Centres Ireland. Our team have vast experience and look forward to booking your next holiday. For special deals, visit libertytravel.ie.
Here at Letterkenny General Hospital's Oncology Unit is where many patients come for their checkups and treatment. Donegal TV travelled with one of those patients, Noreen Diver, from her home in Gweedore.
The morning light brings promise as the darkness fades away, and the song in your heart.
Noreen has come in to start her next cycle of chemotherapy. So normally what we do is we check the bloods. They take about an hour and a half to come back. We do an assessment that everything has been okay in the past, that she's fit for chemotherapy. Then Noreen will see probably Dr. Duffy, our consultant, and one of the junior doctors. And if everything's okay, she'll get her chemotherapy. I'll go ahead today.
Yeah. So the bloods have already been taken at this stage, and you're just going through the rest of the procedure with her here now, Gloria.
Noreen's got a central line in her chest wall, which we call a porticath, so the bloods are taken from that because her peripheral access is very poor. Yeah. So, and she's had that port in for quite a few years now.
Noreen, I suppose you've become used to all these procedures here now, unfortunately, I suppose you might say.
But it's wonderful because they are great in here and they make it so much easier for everybody. Yeah. And it's just they get down to it and they do it, and they treat you just so magnificently.
I was talking to Rory actually, who's in charge here, and I was saying about the personal relationships that are formed between the staff and the patients coming in, and I suppose it's unavoidable in a situation like this, is it?
That's what I was saying. Myself and Gloria were just having a crack about that earlier on, and because people I would know, and people, you get to know so many people in here, you see, and then the faces disappear, and we'd be talking to Gloria, and I was saying it must be such a hard job because I just talk to them on a one-off basis, but Gloria would get to know them, you know, because we come in here for months and it's very hard, you know. That must be, so they're just so wonderful that they're able to do it.
Sure.
our nursing assessment is very much a part of whether or not they can get the chemotherapy or not. Obviously, if there's a lot of problems, then they have to be addressed, and Dr. Duffy takes that on board.
Yeah. And for you, I suppose, Noreen, it would be disappointing having come in today expecting to get the treatment if it wasn't possible.
We look at that screen like just, how's the blood pressure going and how's this going, and then you wait for your bloods to come back and you're just fingers crossed that your platelets and your white cells are high enough that you can have it.
Sure. Are you building yourself up to this in the days preceding it? Are you thinking a lot about it?
Used to do in the beginning, but I've had it for so long now that I just, and thankfully, and whatever is happening, my bloods keep going okay. So very rarely that I've been, but you talk to ladies and gentlemen that's out there and they'd be very disappointed. See, you build yourself up and you get into the hospital and you've got yourself all sorted. And if your bloods are not right, you just have to go home.
Sure. How long's this been going on with you for now, Noreen?
I was diagnosed 4 years ago with breast cancer, and I had intravenous chemo that time for 3 months, and then 2 years later it came back into my lungs, and so I'm on various different treatments now that keep working and hopefully keep me going.
You appear to be a very positive person with a very positive attitude. How important do you think that is in the treatment and in dealing with your cancer?
I think it's one of the main things that you need. I think I can see it. I love alternative treatments and things that help me get through, and I think my mind plays a big part in what your body goes through. I think your mind can do an awful lot through your body part of it. I know there's pain and things, but tablets and medication and things can sort them out. Yeah. But if you keep going, and I have 2 young children at home, and they keep me going too, you see, so I might be a Krabatal thing sometimes, but I keep going, they keep me going. Yeah. And you talk to people, and you just share things with people, and people the same way. We're just so happy that we're given the chance,
Well, it is a very, very busy service. On an average year, there will probably be about 7,000 patients that will go through the department. That's between oncology and haematology patients. For the patients going through chemotherapy, obviously it's a very traumatic period in their life, but the staff that we have within the department are excellent. Obviously our specialists in oncology and haematology, so the care they get is second to none. The wider implications of what is going on within the country in relation to the recession, fortunately it hasn't really impacted on our healthcare service here as such. Obviously with the numbers of people developing cancer getting big over the course of time, there is resource issues in that, and hopefully through the course of time that we will get a bigger department. At the minute that is becoming a bit of an issue, but as I say, the care that the patients receive here is second to none.
Yeah. I suppose it's important that we emphasise, and it has been emphasised, and we've seen it in the Relay for Life events, the number of survivors that there are, and the way that people are able to deal with their situations and carry on and have a good and normal life as we describe it, I suppose.
Oh no, absolutely. We would see that every week when people come in here for chemotherapy when they're starting off as new patients, and obviously it's very traumatic when they come in here and you think that they're never ever going to get through this, but it's amazing how resilient people are, and they carry on and get through the treatment with the help of the nurses and their family and friends. But they're an inspiration to us all, really. You see what people go through.
Yeah. And finally, Rory, obviously a lot of the money that's raised by Relay for Life over the last couple of years has gone into research as well as going to help on ground level, and I mean it's important that continues as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. From the research point of view, there's other neurobiological therapies for treatment of various different types of cancer that is ongoing, and that obviously is directly related to research, so that's a very, very important aspect of cancer care.
Noreen benefits from the Care to Drive project, which started several years ago. Members of the general public give their time to take patients from their home for treatment and return them afterwards. Bridget Lyons has been doing it and explained to us why and how she got involved.
When I heard about it, I must say that the whole idea appealed to me very much. I liked that idea of just what we've mentioned, that you take some of the weight off the shoulders of the people, that I like the idea that, because some people would have to get a bus maybe, they might have to come to Letterkenny, get off in the bus station and make their way up to the hospital. So I really like that idea that I can go to their door, pick them up and bring them here. I must say one of the things that I have found is that it is very uplifting, that all the people that I have met so far have been so positive
It's here at the Mount Errigal Hotel in Letterkenny that Relay for Life Donegal was launched just 2 years ago. So it's to here we returned to speak to the chairman, Robert O'Connor. You really need the people and the teams to turn up to make the event.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a community event, and it will only be as popular for as long as the people in the community support it. And you know, there are so many charities, so many deserving charities in the county, and you know, people just have to decide which they decide to do, because they're all equally you know, worthy of support. But for the last 2 years, they've given fantastic support to Relay for Life and Irish Cancer Society, and we're hoping that will continue in 2014. But Relay isn't just about raising money. The money is important. It's important for research and important for all the services that the Irish Cancer Society spend, but it's also a celebration of people who survive cancer. And you know, it also remembers those who didn't survive, and it allows us to fight back through the whole relay, the whole 24 hours, and all the community events that take place throughout the sort of 3 to 4 months whenever relay is really getting going. It's fantastic.
I suppose, like all charity events, raising the money is a very important thing, and particularly for Relay for Life. And there have been questions asked in terms of the amount of money that was raised and where that money's going. And some people perhaps saying that too much of it was going outside the county, Robert. But the reality is that a huge amount of money has gone to the Irish Cancer Association Society for research, which is hugely important, but equally so, a lot of money has been spent in Donegal that has been raised through Relay.
Yep, a lot of money has been spent in Donegal charity, and it actually gives us an opportunity to sort of, you know, put that myth to bed that the money is all leaving the county. In the 2 years that we've had a Relay, we've raised 708,000. We raised specifically in year 2 321,000 for research, because research offers survivors hope. Every survivor will tell you that without research they may not be there, and we wanted to support them through that. But in the 2 years that Relay has been running, the Cancer Society in year 1 spent 147,000 in Donegal, and in year 2, a lot of the money this year was tied up through the Daffodil Centre, which is a fantastic thing to have in the town, in the county. Spent 308,000 from January to October. One of the marvellous things that the Cancer Society are involved in is providing night nursing for people you know, living at home, and they do that in conjunction with Donegal Hospice, who are an absolutely fantastic attribute to this county. And I think Donegal Hospice and Irish Cancer Society can work very well and do work very well together in that regard, and we're delighted to be supporting and have the support of both of those for all cancer survivors.
And finally, Robert, we see clearly in this programme that cancer doesn't discriminate. It can arrive at a very young person's doorstep. It can arrive at somebody who's more advanced in years as well. And both groups, no matter what area they're in, have a battle on their hands. But by raising money, as you say, it's not the be-all and the end-all, but unfortunately it is an important commodity in terms of being able to do research and to offer the services you mentioned. But because there's such a spread of people, we should all be aware that it's something that we have to keep in mind and keep supporting.
Absolutely, Charlie. As I say, so long as there are 20 people a week in this county being told you have cancer, and at our Relay for Life we've had children from age 3 to adults at age 92 taking part in the survivors. And when you see 500 survivors, 500 odd survivors there taking part in the opening lap, and you know, at least that number of people taking part in the caregivers lap, and over 1,000 people from the teams, you know, it's just absolutely unbelievable spectacle to see, and the support that it gets is just, you know, second to none, and we thank everyone at Donegal for that, and look forward to seeing them hopefully in 2014 and the LYIT in Letterkenny on Saturday the 31st of May and Sunday the 1st of June, and we hope that people will come and enjoy it.
Relay for Life is one day, one night, one community and one fight. The Irish Cancer Society helps those touched by cancer. Funds raised by Relay for Life help them to provide information and support all across Ireland through their National Cancer Helpline 1800 200 700 and through nursing care and patient support programmes. Relay for Life also funds cancer research, helping to improve current treatments and saving lives. Relay for Life empowers people to come together to fight back against cancer. Today, you can find Relay for Life in many communities in Ireland and all across the world. Will you join us for a relay in your community? Please go to www.relayforlifedonegal.com or email us on relayforlifedonegal@gmail.com.
Charlie Collins reporting there on the magnificent work of the Relay for Life team in Donegal. Well, that's it for this week's programme. Don't forget, as always, you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or check out more information on our website at donegaltv.ie. From all of us here at the team, Slán agus Bannacht. Coming up on next week's programme, we'll be looking at another new and emerging band from County Donegal. We'll have a special feature on the Breezy Centre in Cashellard, and we'll also be looking at one of the first ever success sports stories from the county.